Hello, welcome to Day One Pat's podcast.
What did you just say to me?
Episode 214.
What's going on?
Hey Siri, how's it going?
That was a great example of the HomePod.
Fine.
Oh,
Thanks for asking.
There you go.
I don't know if you picked it up, but she said she's fine, and thanks for asking.
I said, how's it going?
No, I'm telling the listeners because I don't think they would have heard it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Come on now.
That's my new HomePod. She's slow because I have slow internet. So don't blame
You have to what?
She's slow because I have slow internet, so don't blame her.
Oh, yeah, that is true. It has to hit the internet first, right?
Yeah. That's Matt Lawrence. He's here.
Yeah.
Adriano's not here.
Yeah, I killed him. I killed him in Dying Light, left him in the sewer.
No.
After he disconnected twice.
Yeah. Some of the top stories today, not too much. It's post E3, so not a lot in the news.
Everyone's dumped everything out, and then they're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now they're just nose to the grindstone, getting those games done.
Yeah. So what we got is we got some updates on Bethesda's new game Starfield. We have a former PS4 dev talking about the restrictions on crossplay and Sony's current stance on that.
Yeah.
GameStop executive is expecting a feeding frenzy for the next generation consoles, PS5 and whatever the next Xbox is. And then we have a query corner question about From Software's games and should they include difficulty settings.
Interesting.
So we'll be hopping into that. But as always, what's new, Matt? What are you playing? What's going on? Any new movies? Any new shows you watching? What's happening?
I'm still playing the Fortnite, so just doing the grind, trying to get to at least level 65, which will get me all rewards but one, so that's pretty good for the season. Because I'm almost tier 100, and I'll get that for sure via challenges. That's my gaming thing right now, just doing my Fortnite shifts more or less. But in terms of like I guess watching stuff, I finished Flint Town or whatever on Netflix. So that covers like that town that had like the water crisis among other problems. Yeah. So that was interesting. It's kind of like a documentary series, I guess, but it's a Netflix original. So that was interesting, depressing. So I'm gonna warn you of that. But I mean, it took me a while to watch that, and then I was also watching the confession tapes, and I'm on episode 7. I want to say,
and both are equally freaking you out.
Equally, well, Flint Town's like more disturbing, but it seems isolated. You know what I mean? Whereas like confession tapes is like all over the place, so that actually like scares me a bit.
Right.
But yeah, it's like I'm just on. I guess I'm on like I won't say like a crime drama thing, but I guess Flint Town's not a crime drama. It's more of a documentary. So
you could consider it a crime. Like the decisions made beforehand could be considered crimes. The decisions that led to the disaster that happened.
They don't actually cover that much. It like kind of focuses on the police department.
Right.
And then so I guess I could describe it. So it focuses on the Flint Police Department, and then obviously the Flint Police Department's within the community, and the community is affected by the water crisis. The community is also affected by the millage, which is like a tax implication in which the police force gets from the people of some kind, and it's also anything that happens to Flint. Like happens to the people, which then affects the police in some way. So like but it focuses on the police department,
right? So
you don't like see the politicians and stuff really that much. Like Donald Trump's in it at one point before he becomes president, and they talk about the election and stuff because like it goes back a couple of years. But it's like it is focusing on the police department. So I mean, if you like cops and that type of show, then you'll probably like Flint.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it after I finish this Vietnam documentary.
It's pretty quick. Like I think I want to say 10 episodes. I'm not sure because I watched it like over maybe about a month.
Hour each.
I want to say yes, but I think it might be 40 minutes. Don't quote me on that. But it's like a full length show. It's not like 20 minutes or anything.
Well, it's funny because like shows are like generally like 42, 45 minutes,
something like that. Yeah.
But that's 15 minutes of commercials when they plan for it for broadcast television.
Yeah.
But like I noticed that a lot of the Netflix originals are like a full hour or like around an hour.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to.
Makes sense.
But I find an hour is just it's a little too long actually for me.
I find British shows are like a full hour, like if they're an hour show, and there's often times where I'll be like, we're about halfway through here. Like, isn't this kind of like long?
Yeah.
But then but it's weird because I don't know whether like I guess it's the commercials that break it up because you're still sitting there for an hour when you watch like a show that has like 15 minutes of commercials.
You are, yeah.
But it just seems longer. I don't know. It's weird.
There's something different. Like this always happens. It's always more fun to watch a movie when it shows up on TV, even though I own it. I could literally go watch it on my own without commercials. but yet I'll sit there and watch it on TV.
No, that's surprising. I wouldn't do that.
Really, you don't do that at all? If there's a movie you like that comes on TV, you don't watch it?
Like if it's there for opportunity, yes. But like sometimes I'll be like, oh, like this is on, and I kind of want to watch it. I will just like flip on my own Plex. Like I don't.
It happens with radio too. Like I have Apple Music. I don't really need the radio anymore. All the songs I want are on Apple Music, and I could just do that. But there's something nice about it kind of being out of your control, and it just being provided to you.
Right.
And so when a show is an hour long with commercials, it's being provided to me, and I just sit there and watch it. But when I have to click on an hour-long episode and hit play myself, it's like, do I really want to sit here for an hour? You know what I mean? There's something mentally different. Even though it's the same amount of time you're wasting, or I guess not wasting, but, doing something.
Yeah.
Is just mentally different.
This might be strange, but I find to help with that, I have to leave my phone across the room.
Yeah.
Because I always find, like, I feel like I need to multitask. So, like, you want to hit, like, a loading screen or, like... or like
brutal,
anything, I'll just like open my phone. But if I leave it across the room, I'm not gonna like walk across the room to get it for like 2 seconds of interaction.
Yeah,
and I find that also helps with like watching shows or watching a movie.
You're totally right. Yeah,
so just like leave it there, and then I enjoy the movie more.
I actually get upset when I'm playing a game and like a loading screen pops up and my hand instantly goes to my phone.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh, Christ, this is bad. But yeah, when I need to charge it and I'll plug it into my computer and then I'll just full attention, it's fine.
Yeah, because you don't need like the...
Yeah.
Although some of those loading screens are pretty bad sometimes.
Not too bad nowadays.
The Fortnite, like, 2 loadings is pretty annoying, though. Like, the login and the loading.
But that's just to get in. But then once you're in, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's super quick.
Overwatch actually loads surprisingly quick. Like, I know you have to log in. Again, the initial login takes a while.
Yeah.
But to load a map, it's, like, super quick. It's impressive, actually.
Yeah, it is pretty quick.
And sorry, you're playing finishing Dying Light with Adriano.
Oh, yeah, I'm also finishing Dying Light. That's right. Mobile-wise, I guess I've been playing that Command and Conquer game that they announced at E3, so, like the beta or whatever, or the alpha or whatever the heck stage they're in right now. So the early access stage, anyway. And as I've been playing that off and on, like a little bit, maybe like I played a few rounds.
You know what? That's a pretty big thing actually when you think about it. I guess I can't remember mobile games really being announced other than Fallout Shelter at an E3 conference.
Yeah.
They would like launch like apps, like Watch Dogs had an app. They would talk about the apps.
Yeah.
But they're not separate gaming experiences like Fallout Shelter or this game you're playing. So it's amazing how big mobile gaming has become that they're now showing off. We had the Gears game.
Yeah.
The Gears Pop game. So two mobile games were like shown off at E3.
And Blades.
Blades.
Elder Scrolls Blades.
Yeah.
I think one of the issues that mobile games have is they've been tailored to mobile. So we went through those stages where it was like when apps were kind of new, they were like the basic games, tic-tac-toe and that type of thing kind of hit the scene, and then you started getting more serious games, including ones that were more like console-esque, right? Some of them were older console games. And then now we sort of on the trend of like games are tailored to a certain type of mobile experience.
Yeah.
For the most part, right? There's exceptions to every rule, but like things like those like character collection games like Star Trek Timelines or that one Star Wars game that you play.
Yep.
So there's like a lot of those. So I feel like because like there's like a template almost for a lot of mobile games, it gets a bad rap. What I'm really worried about though is in Elder Scrolls Blades. So Elder Scrolls Blades has like the PvP, the like story PvE mode, whatever it is, and then the town building. I'm really worried that it's going to be a mix where it's going to be I get to go around like Elder Scrolls. I get to like free roam to an extent. I get to do quests, whatever, right? However far that gets you, right? Because like it's on phone, so I assume it's limited to an extent. But I haven't played it yet. But it's like seems pretty open, right? From what they've shown. I want to know though, like, can I kill a guy and get armor? Because when they killed that one guy, they got like some gold or something. I don't remember now.
But that might have been like a quest, right?
So my question is this going to be like Fallout Shelter where I don't want to say that maybe I just have bad luck, but like in the beginning of Fallout Shelter, I knew quite a bit of people that were getting legendary dwellers pretty frequently. I purchased, because I think it was like a few months ago, so don't quote me on this, but it was like, I don't know, $5 for like 30 lunchboxes, and I was like playing the game pretty actively at that point. And I opened it up, like I bought the pack, and I because I had $5 in Google Play credit at the time, so I bought the pack, and I only got a second old Longfellow out of all of those packs. I didn't get a single other dweller, and I went into as I didn't know you could actually check your collections. I've been playing Fallout Shelter off and on again, and I went into my collection, and I can only have 4 legendary dwellers. I have 2 old Longfellows. I have 3 dog, which is pretty cool. I have Sarah Lyons, which is pretty cool, and I have Jericho. Jericho I earned way back on my BlackBerry Passport. So I'm kind of like worried a bit about like how much grinding you would have to put in to get the loot boxes. And I don't play it a lot, to be fair. I'm not playing it steadily. But how much grinding you needed to put into the quest or the loot boxes or whatever to get those lunch boxes. I guess not loot boxes, they're lunch boxes. Right. To get those, to only have like how small of a chance to get, like, I don't have any Fallout 4 people. Not one. Maybe I need to do more quests. I haven't completed a lot of quests. Maybe I just need to do more of those. Maybe someone can comment on that, but like fill me in on that. But like I feel like I would want like Piper and I think Preston's in the game or something. Like it'd be cool to have more dwellers.
Yeah.
And like my vault is big.
Yeah.
So imagine Blades, to bring it back to that, where it's like you only keep getting gold and it'll be like, yo, you get 100 gold a kill. This helmet, which is like medium range, is like 200,000. Do you want to grind that, or do you want to buy it with like 8 gems or whatever, like the premium currency? So I'm kind of worried that they're going to fall into the templated mobile game purchasing system, but they're going to have the openness of kind of a console experience. So it'll be a hybrid, but I feel like that templating, that pricing, I think might hurt it if they don't balance it right. We haven't seen it yet, but that's what I'm worried about. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but
I don't know. I can't help but be kind of pessimistic on this. Just it being a mobile game and just having limited resources, right? They're trying to sell it as it's everything you want from an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
But they're kind of just taking the loosest form of what that is. They're like, oh, you'll have like character customization, different armor. You could be a mage or whatever, and you can like go fight like freaking, Draugrs and stuff, like,
No, the thing is though, is the Elder Scrolls is not the combat system.
Exactly. Yeah.
Elder Scrolls is also not really the questing system. I hesitate to say Elder Scrolls is more so looking around the world, and then as a result, you have to fight things. As a result, you have quests which keep you engaged.
I'm worried about it just being like a dungeon. Like you just go into different dungeons and fight stuff, and then you get to the end, you get like a loot box or whatever. It gives you some gold. And
I'm worried about it being a loot box in that regard. Like, I don't want every creature to just drop gold and, like, maybe some gems or whatever. I don't want there to be like, oh, there's a 0.1% chance of you getting gems with a kill a guy and a 2% chance of dropping a helmet.
Yeah.
Like, in an Elder Scrolls game, it was like if I killed a guy and he had a friggin' helmet on, I could take that helmet and then wear it myself or sell it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that it's going to fall into that trope where you're going to get the fighting and the questing and the exploration to an extent, I guess. But I feel like you're going to miss out on the collecting of gear, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm always skeptical of games that try to look like a console game. Like the nice thing about Fallout Shelter is it was kind of that Vault Boy art style.
Yeah.
It was very artistic in its design. Whereas Blades looks like they was trying to go for the Elder Scrolls look.
Well, it's coming to VR platforms.
Yeah, but it just looks cheesy on mobile when they try to do that.
I think what they're trying to get at though is you're going to like scratch the itch of like exploring and stuff. Like if you have 10 minutes on a bus or whatever, you're going to be able to run around rather than just in Fallout Shelter. You're just managing your vault and then that's it.
Yeah.
So,
on my end, I finished the original Halo. Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, I think.
The one on the
it's in the Master Chief Collection.
Right.
I don't want to piss off some Halo fans, but that game is not good. Maybe it was good for its time, probably was. I couldn't stand it compared to modern games.
I have a problem in that game where I was playing it like a few months ago with Connor, and I can't find out where the hell to go half the time.
I don't know where to go.
And it'll be like this tiny little combat piece that I need to get to in this tiny building. That's like, I need to get in a Warthog and drive for like 2 minutes. And it's like, but there's so much open land and I don't know where it is. And it's just like some shack out in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, that's where I need to go.
And they'll tell you, you have to go
know?
back to the command station. I'm like, I have no idea where that is.
Where the hell is that?
I don't know what the command station is. I'm sorry if I was there and I forgot. I wasn't paying attention close enough, I don't know where it is.
I don't know where the
You
train
know?
station is. Yeah, like
And
why is there a marker?
There are arrows. Like once you're in like the buildings and whatnot, there's arrows on the ground that tell you where to go, right?
Right.
But there's certain points in the game where they want you to double back, and the arrows are still pointing in the same direction they always were.
Yeah.
They're like physical items in the game, and it's just like this is ludicrous. And actually, it was pretty difficult. Now you can criticize me for being a bad gamer or whatnot. It was a difficult game.
I'm pretty bad at single player shooters. I find
there's a
actually.
lot of crap in that game that kills you in one hit. There's the plasma grenades.
Yep.
There's guys firing rockets off with like expert aim.
Some guys will just like explode.
And I had said at normal. Some guys will just explode. Sometimes the whole room will detonate.
Yeah, because they shoot one of those fuel things, right?
Yeah, and then you have these what were they called? The flood. And they come leaping at you. You can't outrun them. They come leaping towards you. And if they get a shot in at you, like your shield's down instantly, another guy comes leaping in, he kills you.
Yeah.
One hit.
Well, the game's hard because it also has the health.
Right.
It's not like regenerating, whereas Halo 2...
Your shield does, but
was
your
just like
health goes away. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
It was like I got frustrated. I actually had to quit the game several times because I'm just like, I guess I'm not finishing the first Halo. you know?
Yeah.
I can understand why people liked it
Yeah.
and like why it became such a big franchise it is, but that first game's rough.
I didn't know the Halo 4 was on 360. I saw a Halo 4 360 case the other day, and I was like, the hell? Like, I swore that was on Xbox One. And I just noticed it.
Because I played it. I have it.
Is it on the Master Chief Collection?
Yes.
Halo 4 is in the Master Chief Collection.
You get Halo 1, 2, 3. I don't think it's not redone. I think it's the original 3, and then 4.
Oh, shit. That's not too bad.
Because it was all the Master Chief games up to that point.
Oh, because I'm thinking... I remember I wanted to play 5.
Which is the most recent one.
I want to go like through the campaigns. Interesting.
Yeah. No, because I did buy... I bought 4 on release date, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't have an Xbox One, so it was definitely on 360.
That was the first 343 one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was when we were in college, wasn't it?
Yep.
We're getting old.
It's ridiculous.
Considering I missed a generation for a game. I was like, oh man, I didn't know this was on this.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It kind of sucks that they don't have like ODST or Reach.
No Master Chief, though.
Either I know it's not either redone or not in like a new collection or something.
ODST, I think is, I want to say it's backwards compatible now, but I don't know if that's true.
And people came around on it apparently. Apparently, like people didn't like it at first because it didn't have Master Chief.
Yeah.
But I guess people thought that it's actually a good game. And Reach was good. I played Reach.
I played Reach. I only played Reach multiplayer, and I played like maybe the first mission, and then I only played. Is Reach in the Master Chief Collection?
No, because he's not in that either.
Oh no, he isn't. Is he? I mean, I guess I'm going to get the majority of the Halo experience if I do the Master Chief Collection. That's kind of what I wanted to do because I kind of missed out on it. Same with Gears of War. It's weird. I just like didn't hit those two. I don't really play first party games. I think
You don't. It's very strange. Actually.
Yeah, it's like you want to play Halo and
it might actually be a majority of what I play, or the games I enjoy most are first party games.
I can't even think of. I mean, Ratchet and Clank.
That's old though. Like,
I mean, they made a new one. They had
it was a remake
recently.
of the first one, wasn't it?
What's that?
It was a remake of the first one.
It was like a reimagining because they had a movie.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it is a new game though.
Yeah. No, that's very strange. None of you guys really play first party games. You, Marty, and Adriano.
Yeah.
Even Aaron. Why is that? What? That's so weird.
That is weird. I mean, I'm gonna play Days Gone. That's first party, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
But that one's like less first party than the other ones, if you know what I mean.
Is it less first party than the other ones?
Yeah, because when I think
how does one make something less first party?
It's because it's not in like the traditional Sony first party titles, which are these big, massive, action adventure games with high quality.
That's what this game is. What are you talking about?
It just feels different. It just feels completely different.
Well, it's like it's a totally it's a new IP.
They didn't even show it at E3 this year.
No, because they've shown it off a bunch, and no, they did.
Not at the main conference.
No, not the main conference because they don't need to. Because like a month prior they did like a 30 or 40 minute.
Yeah, but that's not the same stage as showing it off at E3.
No, but then the next day, like I watched the coverage of it, and they were just kind of like playing through that segment again. Because I don't think they want to show off too much. Like, how much do you really need to show off?
Yeah, I don't know. That game just doesn't feel like the other games to me. It doesn't feel like Uncharted or.
I would honestly
Horizon.
say it's like Uncharted in a style that I would prefer. Like I like the open worldness, and I like the running around with zombies and stuff. But then I would say it looks like Uncharted.
You never bought Little Big Planet or anything?
I played Little Big Planet, first one.
Okay.
First Little Big Planet, and then I was gonna say the second one, but I don't think that's right. I don't think I have the second one. I think I only have the first one.
The second one's really good, actually.
Got bored of it. Like it's just running around these little levels.
It was the charm, really.
I played it quite a bit. Like I played the first one quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I like finished it and everything. But I just got bored.
Alrighty, let's move on here as my text shrunk.
What?
I accidentally like zoomed out. Apparently on Google Docs, it will adjust the text.
Oh, the font size.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Bethesda's Starfield might not release on current gen consoles. So GameSpot spoke to Bethesda Game Studios creative director Todd Howard and talked to him about about Starfield potentially skipping PS4 and Xbox One. And he said that Bethesda will not compromise on its vision to make the game work on those consoles.
Right.
And but it's not out of the question that they might be left behind. Because I'm feeling like both those games that they had just announced like title screens for are I don't know if they're going to come out on this gen. I feel like those are pretty ambitious titles.
The thing is, though, is I feel like because Fallout 76 is a multiplayer game, I feel like people are now dismissing it, and a lot of people are automatically just looking toward Starfield now.
Probably there's something less. There's something less. It doesn't feel like a Fallout title.
It doesn't like I'm not as hyped for it as I was for 4, but I do think that was because there was a massive gap. I wasn't a massive fan of New Vegas. Yes, I'll get some flack for that, but I wasn't a massive fan of New Vegas. I was a massive fan of 3, and like 4 was like a huge, addition to the Fallout collection years later, like so many years later. And I wasn't a massive fan of Skyrim either, and you probably get flack for that. So I like Oblivion.
Gonna get flack from me.
That's fine, but like. I feel like I don't know the Skyrim is a well done game. Just gonna put this out there. Skyrim is a well done game. I don't like the region. The region was made correctly. I don't like the region.
Right.
But like Fallout 76 is, I guess I can definitely see people's complaints, but I would say it's exactly what I want from a Fallout game. I wanted like ongoing support and more quests, more this, more that. This is a Fallout game in which it sounds like it's going to be that. It's a live game, and we're going to be playing, we're going to be playing this game, leveling up. It's going to be more traditional, like it's more traditional RPG, it sounds like, right? We haven't had our hands on it yet, but it sounds like it's going to be more traditional RPG. The world might not scale to us. We may have to be like, oh, we can't go to this place because it's too high level. We may have to like do more RPG stuff like farming and stuff like that. And there's going to be caveats and problems and updates and whatever, but it's basically what I want. I want to play with other people, and like there's no, like, it's not like you would have to go all the way back to Fallout 3 to enjoy a game. The same mechanics minus the multiplayer stuff are available. Like if you want to play a single player Fallout game, you still have a modern game to play. So why not give 76 a chance is my philosophy on it.
I think
if they released this as 4 multiplayer, like if they literally said this is Fallout 4 multiplayer mode available for $30 DLC or something, right? I feel like people would be more okay with it.
Probably, yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, this is just expanding the game until Starfield comes out."
Yeah, but I don't even think that Bethesda views this as a
they do
major release.
They do.
I don't
Behind
think so.
Says it's the next in the Fallout installation.
No, but they're saying that to sell it.
Installment.
I don't think they.
No, but it is.
Well, no. I don't think they internally view it that way because New Vegas was not a numbered release either.
But New Vegas
it was
big.
It was a full like Fallout game, but then it was followed up by Fallout 4, not Fallout 5.
Right.
It wasn't a big numbered Fallout game.
No,
this one is not a big numbered Fallout game.
No, but it's because the differences. It's because of the difference. Like,
but
I'm not super familiar with the other games, like the ones pre-3, but 3 is you're the lone wanderer.
Yeah.
In the New Vegas, you are the courier.
Yeah.
The courier is something totally separate from the lone wanderer coming from a vault. 4 is a main installment because you are the sole survivor and you are from a vault.
Yeah.
3, you're from a vault. 4, you're from a vault. I know 1, you're from a vault, like Fallout 1. I don't know about 2.
I'm just saying.
That's what I mean.
I don't think this is what Fallout is going to be going forward. I think this is a little side project for them, and then Fallout 5 is going to come out in 4 or 5 years or whatever.
I don't think we're going to see a Fallout 5 for probably a decade.
Well, whatever the timeline is, I think the next game will be Fallout 5. It won't be changing the naming scheme because I don't think Fallout 76 is like a serious release for them. Yes, it is because they want to make money and it's going to be big and they're going to put their heart and soul into it.
Right.
but I just don't think it's like it doesn't feel like a Fallout game.
I think it does. This is my thing is like we always complain about game studios becoming stagnant.
I'm fine with them changing it. I'm just worried about what they've changed it.
The thing is though,
and I'm willing to wait to see what it's like.
But I was the same way, like where I was literally worried. And I mean, I'm sure I might be like a little bit worried about, like I'm wary, I think more than worried about like mechanics. Like I'm certainly apprehensive and like curious. And sure, like it might be bad. Like I might, maybe a little bit worried about maybe servers or maybe I just don't like the game or whatever. But like a lot of what they've said has kind of appeased me. Like everyone keeps saying like, no, it feels like Fallout. Like you can just play it like normal. And honestly, I spend so much damn time just wandering around in 4 that if I could literally just wander around in 4 and just like maybe have people around and like that adds a whole new thing. Like if it's all Dark Zone-esque, that might get really annoying. If it's not really Dark Zone-esque and I can kind of avoid people, like if I really don't want to bother people and this guy kills me and he gets like $100 for doing it or whatever, and I can leave like Pete Hines says, and I can be like, fuck this, like I don't want to fight this guy right now.
Yeah,
and I can just leave through some mechanic, then I'm down with that.
That does bring up a word though. Like even with the things in place to make it a tough decision to go rogue in the Division, people still went rogue regardless.
I think that came with the game's age.
But I just feel like even with whatever safeguards they put in, right? Unless it's literally you have to accept the challenge from someone else. If someone can't just sneak up behind you and blow your head off,
I think they can.
If they can, then people are going to do that. But that's going to happen.
The thing is, see, that was my thing. Is like Pete Hines during one of the interviews said like, let's say he like I don't remember the exact place he said he would walk to, but let's say he walks to a cabin. And I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he walks to a cabin, somebody kills him. He said that like he could essentially choose to, he'll respawn, and then he can choose to go back there and fight the guy because you think he can kill him, or if he says I don't want to do that, and he said I can just leave and go do something else, which is fine, which is fair. But what is stopping that other person from coming to attack you when you're always on the map?
Right.
Do you disappear from that person's map after they've killed you?
I think it's confusing because, like, in that interview, a lot of his stuff was maybes or kind ofs. You know what I mean?
Do you have an example?
She would ask, like, oh, so it's like you have to invite someone to, like, a duel almost. She's like, I don't know the exact words, but let's say she said that, right? Do you have to, like, invite someone to a duel? And then he said, kind of. And there was no, like, solid answers on exactly how it worked. Now, I'm pretty sure they're still figuring it out on their end, right? They're probably balancing it and trying to find what works right.
Yeah.
And the beta is going to help with that a lot, I think.
Yeah.
So,
but it could come down to something as simple as in GTA Online, where like let's say you want to develop your businesses, whatever, like people are going to troll you and try to attack, and you can't do certain activities in passive mode. So you can go passive in GTA Online. You can't be attacked and killed by other players. But you can't do certain activities to make money. So it's like no risk, no reward. So if you just want to explore, maybe you won't get as much XP for finding places when you're in passive mode.
I think that probably makes the most sense. It's probably going to be like a GTA Online.
Yeah.
Probably where they got inspiration from, actually.
Because if you notice, somebody opened fire at them during the conference, and they took cover, ran out, and they killed the guy.
Yeah.
But when the incident opened fire, it said, like, I think the guy's name was P. Garvey, right? So Preston Garvey, of course. So like it was like P. Garvey has like open fire on you, 10 caps like bounty or whatever to kill him.
Yeah.
He runs out there, he kills him, he gets 10 caps. But I wonder if you could go in there and be like, refuse passive mode.
Yeah. A bounty system makes sense too, because if you're all from the same vault, you're all from Vault 76, and you're supposed to be reclaiming the wasteland, they wouldn't want you killing other settlers, from Vault 76. And so, like, who's ever in charge, the overseer or whatever, would put a bounty on that person for killing one of his dwellers.
I think people I think people are too worried about this.
I think there's just too many unknowns, and yes, a lot has been answered through interviews and stuff, but it's still a little hazy. I think we need to sit down and see it to really get an idea for what it is.
I think people are just freaking out.
Are you going to get the beta? It's coming to Xbox first.
I already pre-ordered the game. Got my Power Armor edition. So I'm gonna. I have to go to the store because I did it at a retail store, but I can go get my key.
The story was about Starfield.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
76 always steals the show because it's such a
and
far cry.
There's
right?
not much to talk about Starfield. We saw like a little
there's
CG trailer.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do think it will probably get pushed to next gen consoles. I can't imagine it not.
Well,
if it's a big universe game, if that's what we can glean from the little thing they showed,
right?
I almost want them to wait till next gen.
If we're already talking about next gen, what does this mean for game as a service games? Hell, 76 is a freaking games as a service game.
Yeah, but even games as a service aren't games as a service for life. Like even the Division had a 2-year lifespan.
Yeah, but what if we're talking next year they want to release new consoles? So 76 comes out and you get like 8 months?
But they're not talking 2 years. 2021 is like the next.
I guess.
So.
And I mean, once you play the death out of it, it's like, okay, well, I've played enough.
Yeah, and 76 coming out soon, November. That's crazy soon.
Yeah. So, well, that's the same thing that happened with 4, right?
Now you could have an argument for the games as a service come 2021. Then that looks a little pretty weird. And every game might be a games as a service at that point.
And then at that point, it's like, are they going to port everything?
They could cross over, yeah.
But then which we will talk about shortly, is Sony going to allow that? Probably not.
Well, they might not. They might not port. Well, this brings up a question that we said, where we're hoping that next gen consoles allow you to play your old games.
Yeah.
If that holds true, if that's going to happen, however unlikely, that would allow you to play your games as a service on the next gen console.
I think the issue right now is I think there's 2 issues. I think the one issue is that there's like disc games. I think wonder if disc games aren't going to count.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, fine. So if it goes to like full digital, fair enough. I mean, as long as I'm able to. I mean, this sounds really bad because you have to buy things again. But like, let's say you're a huge fan of Fallout 4, and I have the physical version of it because I bought the collector's edition. If I really want to play Fallout 4 on my PS5, and they just allow me to buy it without Bethesda having to like remaster it or anything, they just allow me to purchase the PS4 version digitally. I know that's not great, but like at least there's an avenue for me to do that, and I'm only going to be replaying the games I really care about anyway.
Yeah.
I think the issue comes in though is like what Microsoft's having, where they have the Xbox compatibility, like the original and the 360, but they don't have full compatibility because of licensing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, is those same type of license agreements in place right now? And if they are, that I assume would affect the next generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
I don't know.
And what really sucks is the devs are just kind of hitting their stride right now with these consoles.
Yeah.
They're going to release a new set of them. And then like 2 days later, they're going to be like, oh, these things are underpowered again.
But that's the nature of things, though.
We were younger. I don't remember that on the 360 and the PS3. I don't remember that once. I never remember hearing that once. I remember we used to just go through. People would just get better at developing. You'd be like, man, these games are getting really good, and that'd be it. Now, again, we weren't really into specs. We were pretty young.
But the devs always want more power because it gives them more resources to do more stuff.
No, but what I'm saying is now that the media seems to be covering, or at least now that I'm noticing, covering this, like the power of stuff, right? Because immediately, remember the big controversy every single time when a game released on like for the first, I'm gonna say year of the PS4, Xbox One, it would be like, this game runs actually at 900p upscaled. Because that would never been mentioned before. No one cared about that.
Well, the last gen consoles only did 720, and the odd game would do 1080.
Right.
At best, and it was usually like a first party title. I think maybe Call of Duty was 1080 60, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was 1080 because you got to remember 360 had those standard definition cables too.
Right.
As an option.
Right.
So it was a transitionary console.
But they were pitched as HD consoles.
Well, it was. It was the first HD console, but a lot of people weren't HD yet.
Yeah.
It was a transitionary console.
And 360 had a blurry menu, which really pissed me off.
Not after updates.
Not
after updates.
It was still kind of blurry.
It's been a long time, to be honest.
Anyway, but then when the next gen consoles came out, they were pitched as these super powerful consoles, and then yet it wasn't. And I don't think it was so much that people were concerned about it being 1080. I think it was more the fact that the PS4 was more powerful than the Xbox One. The original Xbox One. So
there's that maybe.
All the PS4 games were 1080p, 30, 60 if you were lucky, right?
Yeah.
And then the Xbox One was coming out, and it was like, oh, this game's only like 720. This one's like 900.
Yeah.
They're like first party titles too. Were struggling, I think. Rise, Son of Rome.
I don't care what anyone says, to be honest. Though,
you can't tell the difference.
No, but I hate those specs because I haven't played in a while, so like whatever. But from what I remember of that game, like I particularly remember that game looking fucking really good.
Oh yeah, it still looked good.
Like really, and I would argue that it will probably, if I put it in today, it would look really good still. Because I actually remember the graphics in that game.
People probably just wanted to pile on more crap onto Microsoft too, because
I hate that.
because of their mistakes that they made when the console launched. So here's this console. Oh, we focused it on media
Yeah.
instead of gaming, and then it can't perform games as well as the PS4, their competitor.
It's almost clickbait at that point because they fixed the problems for the most part.
And then, but the another thing is, the last gen, the PS3 was underperforming compared to the 360.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty badly too.
so it just became an issue because of all these, different things that were in people's minds.
I want to seriously know whether
People definitely didn't care during the PS2 and original Xbox.
Well, I'm curious now. This just popped into my brain where are digital games licensed to the console? Do we know that? Is that consumer information?
They're licensed to your account.
No, but what I mean though is okay. So 360 was, I would say, a majority CDs, right, or DVDs, whatever was on, whatever the 360 and the PS3 read. I know the PS3 was Blu-rays, the discs, right? The discs are the physical, but it started the era of digital. Started.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like a lot of stuff's digital. What I'm curious is whether the licensing has changed, and now it's, oh, I'm selling this on the PlayStation service, and it's licensed to the PlayStation service. So now if my PlayStation 5 connects to the PlayStation service, the license applies. I wonder if it's not tied to the hardware because disc sales are down, I would assume.
Yeah. But that's what we want, isn't it?
It is. No, but I'm wondering if that will make it possible. That just popped into my brain. So if they release a Roku level size box where it streams your games, this is total hypothetical, I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
If you got like a Roku size box, which is small for people who don't know what a Roku is, and it was like a streaming console. Let's say they had a bigger one with disc too, let's say. But like a little one, and you have good internet, you can stream your games. I'm curious as to whether you'd be like, oh, I could stream like Fallout 4. I could stream all my games from last gen, like at that time.
No, that'd be cool. That'd definitely be cool.
I'm wondering if it's connected to PSN now, like PlayStation Service, whatever the legal name would be.
I would think so because were games last gen connected to your console? I think they're just licensed to your account.
They were.
However, you could only play them on that console.
But I'm wondering whether the licenses back then were made toward the hardware because it was the disc sales. So they were like, well, these discs are only going to be playable on the PS3 or 360 anyway. I wonder if that's why the license issue is happening.
I don't know, because I feel like they would just do like every other online service did. Like iTunes, if I buy a movie on iTunes, I can watch it on Mac or PC. I have to use iTunes, but it's available on both.
But it's linked that was also a transitionary thing.
It's linked to my Apple account, not to the computer in which I purchased it on.
Right. That is a transitionary thing, though.
But I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure they would just follow the same like industry standard of just having it attached to your account. Yeah. It just so happens you can only play it on one console.
But I'm curious as to whether the console thing was all about the license. I think the issues. Mm-hmm. I mean, some hardware stuff obviously too. PS2 to PS3 was a big jump, for example. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering whether with the power of what we know now, I wonder if we can emulate things good enough.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We've got some stories to get to here. Speaking kind of this stuff, PS4 crossplay restrictions are all about the money, according to an ex-Sony developer. So the developer was the ex-boss of Daybreak Game Company, which was formerly known as Sony Online Entertainment. His name is John Smedley, and he said on Twitter, "When I was at Sony, the stated reason internally for this was money. They didn't like someone buying something on an Xbox and it being used on a PlayStation. Simple as that. Dumb reason, but there it is."
You said that on Twitter, right?
He said that on Twitter. So I guess he would have some insight being a former Sony developer.
Right.
With, I think Sony Online Entertainment made H1N1, the game.
Sure.
I think.
H1Z1?
H1Z1. So he would kind of be in that realm because that game was also on PC, right?
Yeah.
So they probably might be talking about that.
And
kind of
they have a big battle royale game too, King of the Kill,
which is now on PS4.
Right.
So I guess he would have some insight into some sort of talks like that. And of course, it's money. They're a company.
Yeah.
But he also did say that keep the pressure up and things will change.
Well, the thing is, so this is definitely brought about by because of Fortnite.
Yeah.
So Fortnite releases on the Switch, and then people start finding out, wait a second here, I can't connect my account. Actually, I had this problem where I had an old legacy account on my Xbox One for Fortnite, and I was gonna like do the whole thing where I was gonna like promote and then unlink and then relink, like a whole thing they have to do to do this crap. And I was gonna do it, and then at random I was like, I wonder if my Xbox legacy account, because he was like level 2 or something, is so old that it didn't even connect to Epic. So I was just gonna go into my actual Epic account, my active one, and try to connect. I was just gonna, I literally just click connect to Xbox Live and see if I could sign in, because it would just error out, I would assume.
Yeah.
And I clicked it, and it was like, sorry, your like a profile is associated with a type of account that does not allow the connection of this. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I like clicked on the Switch one. I don't have Switch, but I clicked on the Nintendo account, and it said the same thing. And I know that I've played on PC, so PC's all right. And I have an Android phone, so I don't have the mobile version. But apparently, after looking it up, you can play mobile PS4 on PC, but you can't play PS4 with any other console. And so this is what kind of brought this about, which is stupid, because it's like I can't bring any of my items over. They're worried about people buying V-Bucks, is what they're worried about.
Because do they get a portion of that, I guess?
I would assume.
Where do you buy V-Bucks? In the PlayStation Store?
I think it does go through them, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah, it is, because you go to the store, and then at the bottom it'll be like, it says PlayStation Store.
So if you could go on Xbox
and purchase something because they had a sale or something, let's say you buy 1,000 V-Bucks, and
or whatever. Let's say you mainly play on Xbox, but like you have a few friends on PS4.
Yeah.
But most of your time is spent on Xbox. You can come over to PS4 for a bit.
Yeah.
Not spend any money on their service, and then just jump back.
But the thing is, though, is like I wonder how much that's going to affect them, because first of all, it's Epic servers, as far as I know, that runs the game. And so at the end of the day, like if I mostly play on, like right now I mostly play on PlayStation, but I have a couple of friends that may want to play on Xbox. So like let's say I buy, $10 worth of V-Bucks on my PlayStation, and let's say Sony just hypothetically gets $2 of that. Is Microsoft losing anything by me logging into my Xbox on Fortnite and playing on an Epic server? They're not paying for the dedicated servers, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I'm connected to the Xbox Live service, but they're gaining money because I had to buy the subscription. So wouldn't it balance out?
I think they just want all the money.
Yeah, like it almost sounds like a money grab. If this money argument's true.
I can understand it from a business standpoint, but it really sucks for the consumers.
I just want to be able to even move my items over.
Yeah.
I don't even, if you say, sorry, V-Bucks are not transferable, okay.
Yeah.
Don't care.
And it's kind of funny that they'll allow you to buy stuff on PC or iOS.
Yeah.
But they don't want you buying it on a competing platform.
Yeah.
So.
Because I thought for the longest time you were able to. Because, like I said, I was going to do that account thing, and I had played on PC, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I didn't think at the time I was new to Fortnite, I didn't think it would roll over from my PS4 to my PC. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm going to connect all my consoles.
So is this true for every online game? Does your ESO stuff not transfer from PS4 to Xbox?
I've heard that Paragon has the same problem, which I think is also an Epic game. I've never played Paragon. I don't know about ESO, but I would assume. Although I think ESO wouldn't. I don't think ESO transfers on anything. I don't know though. I've never. I've only played it on PC. I don't actually know.
I hope it does, because I bought it on PS4.
You bought it on PC. That'd be an interesting thing to check after the show. Just trying to log in.
Well, I had to download the goddamn thing.
Oh, it's not downloaded. Okay, well,
massive.
I didn't know if you just had
90. It was like 95 gigs on my Mac. I was like, holy Christ!
It's big.
It's massive. Anyway, Sony's response is pretty funny, because it's kind of against what they're currently doing. So Sony's response was, we're always open to hearing what the PlayStation community is interested in to enhance their gaming experience. Fortnite is already a huge hit, with PS4 fans offering a true free-to-play experience so gamers can jump in and play online. And they go on. With 79 million PS4s sold around the world and more than 80 million monthly active users on PlayStation Network, we've built a huge community of gamers who can play together on Fortnite and all online titles. We also offer Fortnite crossplay support with PC, Mac, iOS, and Android devices, expanding the opportunity for Fortnite fans on PS4 to play with even more gamers on other platforms.
Doesn't help the problem.
No, and
don't state what you've done if you're missing a big chunk, and that's what people.
And it was like a big promotion for themselves too. Oh, we've sold 79 million consoles, and come
on, Sony.
They really spun it on this one. I think it's hilarious.
I don't think that they will back down. And I also kind of don't think that they should. This goes back to that thing about EA where I said that EA shouldn't have backed down. From a business standpoint, I don't think they should back down.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But I want them to back down.
It makes sense what they're doing from a business standpoint. They don't want to give Nintendo or Xbox any footing to catch up to them. They have a massive lead right now.
Yeah.
They don't want them to catch up at all.
The thing is, though, is it's so easy to just not give. Like, you earn V-Bucks in the game. It's so easy for the game. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't know how the V-Bucks system works, but I assume it'd be easy enough in the game if Sony and whatever, like Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, they said, okay, let's keep our premium currencies that are not free, so the ones that were not earned, separate. If I buy 1,000 V-Bucks on Xbox, I have 1,000 V-Bucks only on my Xbox. But if I earn, let's say, an extra 500, on Xbox I'll have 1,500, on my Switch I'll have 500, and on my PlayStation 4 I'll have 500. And then your account should just list and be like, on Xbox you have an extra 1,000. That is such an easy way to get around it. Because people just want to play, and they just want to have their items. They don't care otherwise.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Speaking of next-gen consoles, GameStop expects a feeding frenzy for the next-gen consoles.
Which I misinterpreted earlier in the show as literally the game
returning
frenzy.
to next-gen. I like that's the big news at GameStop.
That's why I asked. I was like, what the hell does that mean?
So this was GameSpot was speaking with GameStop at E3, and they said, they expect huge sales because the Switch is doing pretty well for them, and so I guess that's a good sign for next gen. Although that seems weird because it's like people are just now, like the Switch is just now kind of getting out there,
Yeah.
Where I'm like actually seeing them out in the open.
I've actually never seen a Switch other than.
Oh, really? I've seen
Switch.
at least one out in the open somewhere.
Like people using it?
Yeah. It's like a kid playing with it and stuff.
Interesting.
So it's like if they're just getting into the Switch now, are they going to be ready for a next gen console? Or are they going to?
I don't think the Switch is going to be upgrading to a next gen very soon.
No.
Like Switch launched later, and they're just starting to get Pokemon and stuff. I don't think they're concerned about getting a new console, or if anything, they'll just release a more powerful tablet like the Switch Pro or something.
So the GameStop merchandising boss Eric Bright, he said, "When is always the big question." Phil Spencer announced that they are working on a new Xbox, which I think everybody expects. When, I don't know. I honestly don't. But like every hardware transition that occurs, and GameStop has gone through many of them in the past, it's a tremendous time for us. Yeah, this is when he points out to the March 2017 being a huge success for the Switch at GameStop.
Right.
He expects a similar situation for PS5 and Xbox consoles, and that he anticipates a feeding frenzy. He says, it's going to be a feeding frenzy that I expect to drive tremendous traffic into our stores, and will attach better than anybody else accessories software to that. Okay.
A little bit of PR there.
Yeah. Come to us for your accessories and software. And they do it better than anyone else?
I have not been to a GameStop. Well, in Canada, TB Games.
Yeah.
I haven't been to an EB Games with the exception of pre-ordering Fallout 76's Power Armor Edition. In a long time, actually. I used to go there all the time just to browse. I used to walk around and stuff. Like hell, we were at the mall and we used to walk.
We walked right past
it. We walked right past it. Yeah, like it's.
I mean, it's a big toy store now too, so it's just like
there's that, and they have the weird layout where it's in the middle, so it's like a little narrow aisle.
Yeah, I like their old system better.
Where it's just on the sides, you could actually walk around.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of getting done with physical location, and with the exception of things like I want that helmet, like the Power Armor helmet, I kind of don't want to.
But couldn't you have ordered that on Amazon or Best Buy?
It sold out so fast.
But it is possible, right?
It is. Literally the situation was I checked an hour after the conference, there was nothing. I checked 3 hours or 4 hours after the conference, and it was just they're on sale. 20 minutes later, out of stock. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So then I had to go to the retail store because they didn't open pre-orders for the next day. But still got it. Pretty great.
Yeah, ever since I decided to go completely digital, I've never been to a EB Games. Since.
Would you buy a Star Wars game physical though?
No, because I didn't buy Battlefront physical, even though.
But you don't want the collector's edition though. If there was a good statue with it or something, I mean. That's the stuff that brings me in is
I'm considering the Spider-Man one Spider-Man Collector's Edition.
Which is what?
It's a statue of like Spider-Man.
I have so many statues. Like Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, so I got quite a bit of that type of stuff. I'm just done. I don't have enough space.
Yeah.
I'm done. I have enough of that. But I probably will digitally pre-order it even like a day before to get that Avengers skin.
Right.
Just because if I'm gonna buy it anyway, I might as well just pre-order it then.
Yeah. Maybe Tomb Raider. I might look into their collector's editions.
You see that type of stuff.
But like those aren't so popular that I have to like fight people for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I could probably go on Best Buy right now and pre-order one. You know, and I'll probably do that. I probably won't go to EB Games.
Is that like opening soon, or is there this like a big thing like where Tomb Raider is like opening at a certain day, or you're just saying that it's been open for so long but it's still not sold out? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying I could probably go on to Best Buy right now if the Spider-Man one or the Tomb Raider one's already available.
You haven't checked into this. I thought you were like waiting for the day.
No, but I'm pretty sure I could probably go check and they might have them.
Right. Okay.
It's not a big thing like everyone wanted the Pip-Boy, which sold out like crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they have a separate Pip-Boy now. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. That one doesn't have a phone like attachment, right?
I don't think so.
The phone was a bit ridiculous because it's like it was too novelty.
It worked pretty good though, actually, to be honest. It did work pretty good. Like if you had a separate phone that you could leave in that thing. I used it once, like I tried it. Like I'm a big football fan. So like I tried it wearing the thing and I hated wearing it.
Yeah.
It's too big. And like
it's like what Conan said, it's Microsoft's version of the Apple Watch.
Damn it. Freaking Zune watch. What are you doing?
Texting Marty.
You're the host, and you're supposed to be transitioning to the next story, and you're just sitting there texting.
Let's move on to the Query Corner question. This one involves From Software, who is known for their difficult games, and they were questioned about why don't they include difficulty levels, and Miyazaki responded by saying, "We don't want to include a difficulty selection because we want to bring everyone to the same level of discussion and the same level of enjoyment. So we want everyone to first face that challenge and to overcome it in some way that suits them as a player. We want everyone to feel that sense of accomplishment. We want everyone to feel elated and to join that discussion on the same level. We feel if there's different difficulties, that's going to be a segment and fragment the user base. People have different experiences based on differing difficulty level. This is something we take to heart when we design the games. It's been the same way for previous titles, and it's very much the same with Sekiro.
I think you got it right the first time.
I think it's Sekiro. I've heard other people say it too. So,
although I don't know how it's spelled, I don't know.
Well, Sekiro.
Sekiro.
That's how Westerners pronounce it.
Well, I mean, we're Westerners, so
I think it's pronounced Sekiro.
All right. Well,
anyway,
we've spelled it now.
That's beside the point.
Yeah.
Now you're not the biggest fan of From Software games.
Can't handle it.
Do you wish they had a difficulty selector?
I don't really like their games, to be honest.
Right.
Like you guys are like amazed by like. I'm gonna get flack for this. I don't like the fragmentation. I don't care to dig into the story in that way. I want to be pulled along. I don't want everything to be a complete mystery. I don't want everything to be an interpretation of people's speech. Like Bloodborne is just like some crazy fucking shit, and you can kind of piece together a story, but you're not really like pulled through a story. You're just kind of like going through it. Like realistically, like if you're not paying attention in terms of like paying attention to the narrative, if you're not paying attention to the narrative, but you're like paying attention to the game, you know, you're going to see some cool environments. You're going to kill some cool people, whatever, like cool bosses. I mean, but like you're not going to get much of a story. Like you're going to know you're in the Hunter's Dream. You're going to know you're in the city. You're going to know generally where you are. But if you're not looking deep into it, you're not really going to know what the hell is going on. And I kind of like take issue with that, where I almost find that to be lazy. Whereas people are like, no, that's not lazy. That's just their style, which is true. That is their style. But I personally find that a little lazy. Like even the cheapest of like arcade shooters will pull you through the story, even if the story is lame as hell or very, very stereotypical, right, of an arcade shooter. But I find that all this is like and I'm not a writer, but I get, so I don't know for sure. But from my outside perspective, it seems to me like they make an environment, like they choose an environment, they choose a vibe, and they just write little bits and that's it. I don't know whether they know the whole story, and I kind of take issue with that.
I think they do because you can piece it together. Now, yes, you have to.
Because they pieced it together though, because they piecemealed it. So then
no,
you can piece it
like
together.
there's actually true stories built into the game that yes, they're not apparent. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can piece it together. And I think it's actually more creative, not lazy, for them to do it that way. Now, they're choosing to spend all this time, if this is the case, on writing these stories and then hiding them from you. That's pretty crazy when you think about it that way.
That's what I meant by I'm not a writer, because I don't know what the creative process is. Like, are they writing 300 pages and using 6 lines of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So there's a part in Bloodborne, you might remember this. There's a little girl crying in a window.
Yeah.
Right. And she said her mother's like gone out and hasn't come back yet. And she's wearing like a red brooch or something like that.
Okay.
Right. So you go and you do your thing. Right. You do whatever you do. You fight Gascoigne. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Forgot. The little girl gives you a music box.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you read about the music box, it tells you like it calms like down a certain guy or something like that. You can play this music box for Gascoigne.
Yeah.
And he starts like freaking out. And like he won't attack for a bit, and you have time to like attack him, right?
Okay.
You then find the brooch in that same area where you fight Gascoigne. So you find the girl's mother dead. You get the brooch. You go back to her. You give her the brooch, and she starts crying. Right. What you can piece together from this, though, she gave you the music box. The music box tells you it calms down this guy. That's Gascoigne.
Okay.
He's the father who then killed the mother because he turns into a werewolf and he's crazy because of the hunt.
Okay.
Right. You go back to her, you give her the brooch,
Yeah.
and she starts crying and stuff. I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, you come back later, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a different girl in the window, and you start talking to her.
Okay. Why the hell is there a different girl in the window?
She's her sister.
Okay.
The other girl went away looking for something, or rather.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how this works out exactly. The other girl ran away or something like that, right? And so you tell the new girl this, and then if you leave and you come back, she's no longer at the window. If you follow the path she would have taken,
how do you know the path she would have taken?
I forget the details on that. Okay, I'm a little hazy on this. But if you follow the path that she would have taken to get to where she was going,
okay,
you find like a bloodied like handkerchief or something like that.
Okay,
and it's like in a pig's mouth or something like that.
Okay.
So anyway, there's a story you can piece together through limited
but like,
details.
Is that a riveting story?
It's
that a family, a crazy father took off into the hunt.
I'm not explaining it completely properly.
But like,
but
it
is a fascinating little piece of a story that's completely optional. You don't have to talk to this window.
I mean, that's all right for side content, sure.
But that's just one example, and there's all sorts of different things that you can get out of these stories.
That's why I hesitate to call them lazy. Maybe I'm the lazy one because I don't want to piece it together.
Right.
And I don't care really. Like I don't care for the mechanics. I find that the mechanics are hard to handle just because they want the game to be harder.
I think definitely with the previous Dark Souls games, but the Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 are pretty good.
And like I don't really find them entertaining that much. Like I enjoyed when we played it like co-op with Aaron kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like
that was more of like a social thing, though.
That was like more of a social thing. But like I don't, because we just played it. We just handed off the controller. We didn't actually play it multiplayer.
Yeah.
But like it's no allure. Like when Bloodborne was free on PlayStation Plus or whatever, I was never like, oh man, I'm gonna boot that up. Like I claimed it and was like, okay, like it was just another thing for the collection.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To be honest, I wouldn't play these games if it wasn't for Aaron.
See what I mean? Like how
I don't play these games when I'm alone.
So. All right, well, let me ask you this. I'm sure you've talked to him about it. Is Aaron going to get this samurai one?
Probably, yeah.
Are you going to buy it because of him?
If he gets it and he wants to play co-op with us, yeah.
If he didn't get it...
it might not be co-op, though.
Oh, yeah, I did hear something
about it. So if it's not co-op, I will not get it.
Okay, there you go. There you go. So if it's not co-op, because I haven't looked into this, if it's not co-op...
I will not buy it.
You will not buy it?
No.
So is this really a riveting experience that you guys
I like the
need
stories.
to experience?
Well, not... It's because like I don't like difficult games. Okay, so Aaron helps me get through those games.
Yeah, but what's the payoff if someone has to help you through them?
I enjoy playing it with Aaron.
No, but
I have fun.
No, other than the social, I mean, just the game.
For me, There isn't, but for Aaron,
See, that's not good.
No, it is good because there's fans of different things. Aaron likes those games.
No. I'm saying it's not good for you. I'm saying your personal experience, not with Aaron.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're playing with Aaron, but I'm not saying like bar Aaron's opinion and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking specifically about you yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting a payoff, which they're saying that by beating these challenges, you're getting a payoff.
But they're not talking to me. They're talking to fans like Aaron.
No, I know. These games are definitely good for certain people. I fully acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But I think that what I'm trying to get at is I think you and I are in the same boat, except I am so turned off by it,
But
by the difficulty and everything else, that I just don't want to touch it.
But I like it when I'm playing it with someone.
That's weird to me.
Is it?
It's weird that like a game that is kind of difficult to play co-op. You guys struggle with weird passwords and crap. I hear you guys in the party.
Borderlands is the same thing. If Borderlands 3 comes out, and let's say for some reason Marty and Adriano don't get it, I will not get it.
That one kind of makes sense. It's an arcade shooter. I would say that these From Software games are single player first. I would say.
Yeah, I think so. I would think so. Yeah.
So it's strange that the social experience, however minimal, is what brings you to this single player centric game. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that's rather weird. And like I played Dark Souls, the first one with Tim, and like it was enjoyable to an extent, but it's still like I'm never like, oh man, yo Tim, let's play some Dark Souls. It's never like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult game and it's a pain in the ass. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's dumb, but
no, it's not, because again, you're allowed to like different things, and and they understand not everyone's going to like their games. They only became really popular since really Bloodborne. Do you know what I mean? They were still like a cult kind of game.
Dark Souls 2 and 3.
3 was after Bloodborne.
Oh, I didn't know 3 was after. Okay.
So
2, I'd say, was the beginning. 3, or you're
2,
right. Bloodborne
2 got more notoriety.
Yeah, and then 4, or sorry, Bloodborne was really like on the PS4 because it was exclusive, right?
Yeah, so
really
it got all the marketing from Sony.
Yeah, so that like really pushed them up.
Yeah, but they were always like a cult game.
Yeah.
You know, and I think people would argue they've gotten easier. Because if you play Dark Souls 1, it's pretty clunky and like you really got to pay attention to stuff.
I wonder how the remaster stacks up in terms of like.
I don't think they changed anything.
Are you fighting
mechanically,
the mechanics?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just a visual upgrade, and they fixed like some like annoying things, like they were truly just like
right.
bad like UI or something like that.
Yeah. I think maybe this might also be a thing where I'm actually starting to lean more toward competitive games, where I'm actually watching a little esports with Fortnite. I'm playing a lot of Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
We had played Call of Duty previous to that. I mean, we're playing COD Zombies now, but like we were playing a little bit of Black Ops 3 because that was free on PlayStation for a bit.
Yeah.
So like, I'm kind of leaning more toward competitive games where I practice in Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
I need to practice fort building. I'm just going to keep playing and keep trying to build. I suck at combat. I'm just going to keep dropping it tilted and practice this. You know what I mean? I like put the time in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe
should From Software games have a difficulty setting?
Well, with all that this in consideration, I would actually say no.
I would say no too, because it kind of takes away what those games are.
Yeah, like the fans of the series. If you're not a fan of the series, I don't think you're going to want to play it on easy difficulty.
Right.
I think that if you're a fan of the series, you're just going to crank it up to the hardest difficulty anyway, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say no difficulty setting.
And I feel like they spend time crafting the difficulties as you go.
Yeah,
and it's not something that they could easily put just a slider on there.
I mean, they could with like, oh, you take 20% less damage and you do 10% more.
Yeah, but I almost feel like they spend a lot of time making sure that the game itself, as you go along, you know,
it gets harder.
Yeah, it's not just letting it do algorithms. You know,
that was one of the things I remember. Spoiler alert for Bloodborne. We went into like that clinic.
Yosefka's clinic?
Yeah. And like she like kicked the shit out of us.
Oh yeah, she was tough, yeah.
And like we did that like 15 times or something outrageous.
And she was a side like boss.
Fuck, like
not even really a boss, but she was a side enemy that you didn't have to fight.
And another spoiler, which is the end game, so spoiler alert right now. we like did the other ending where we like attacked the guy in the wheelchair, and then he turned into like some crazy motherfucker, which I could not kill. I just couldn't, because we were playing like passing it off. I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't master the pattern.
I forget who got the final blow. I think it was probably Aaron though.
Well, it wasn't me because I couldn't. I literally would just die immediately. Like that would be something I would have to practice like 5 freaking hours. I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
And like same with the blood beast or whatever that showed up right after.
Yeah.
That thing kicked. But yet some of the people like you guys were struggling with that one lady in the church, and I kicked her ass like immediately. Like I just for some reason her movements. I just understood how to avoid them.
It is funny because like sometimes you'll be fighting a boss and you'll be like, I can't do this. You'll come back the next day and beat it in one go.
Yeah.
It's just kind of where your mental state is at, you know?
Probably fatigue as well. Like once you've like fatigued yourself, you're like, fuck, I'm doing terrible in COD or whatever. I need to stop.
The speedrunners amaze me because they got it down to a science. It's incredible.
Because they know the AI. The AI is going to go left if I go right, so I'm going to go forward to like screw them up. And
I throw a blood thing over here. He's going to go into the corner, and I hit R1, R1, R2. I jump back, R1, R1. You know, it's just like that's insane.
That's too much.
Yeah. All right, that's it for this week, episode 214. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like us on the Facebook, follow us on the Twitter, subscribe on the iTunes and the YouTube.
And wherever you listen to podcasts,
smash that bell icon.
Smash that like icon. Smash that like button.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Peace.